let's talk about the 3 mindset shifts that completely changed the course of my life, so you can do the same. Because these are shifts that took me from being unemployed and unsure about my future to finding purpose, finding fulfillment, and as a result, building a 6-figure business and a life I genuinely never thought would have been possible just 5 years ago. I'm going to break down 3 quotes which summarize the shifts that I've had. As if you are anything like me, quotes just seem to stick that little bit better. And then I'm going to share the personal stories attached to them, giving you real life insights on my journey through the come up over the last 5 years so you can implement the same lessons into your life or into your business. And trust me, if I hadn't have made these mindset shifts, I wouldn't be where I am today. So stick around, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a very clear framework to level up your mindset, your business, and ultimately your life. If you are new here, my name is Joe Cross, owner of Excel Coaching, where I've helped over 1,000 clients transform their lives. I'm also the founder of the Coach Creator course, built to raise the standard of coaching education whilst instilling the mindset required to truly succeed. And that's exactly what the Built Different podcast is going to be all about. All right, so mindset shift number 1. Comfort pays hourly, courage pays forever. Most people stay stuck not because they lack skill, but because they are too afraid to take any level of risk. For me, the path of personal development is about befriending uncertainty. All the decisions you make at the start of any pursuit in life, you will usually have incomplete data. So it's about getting comfortable with taking your best guess, essentially. It becomes about consistently being directionally correct instead of always searching for the perfect answer. It's the realization that perfect answers only exist once you have done the thing or you have reached that end goal, as that is what allows us to collect that information to improve the quality of our decision making for the future. And this is exactly why I don't believe in perfectionism. It's simply procrastination in disguise. But anyway, story time. So in late 2021, my partner and I took a holiday to Dubai. It was purely a holiday at the time, but when we arrived, we loved everything about it. The energy, the lifestyle, the opportunities, the people. But moving there, it didn't even register that it was an option at the time, as it would mean selling everything I owned, leaving stability and starting completely fresh in an entirely foreign country. Most people thought we were crazy, absolutely nuts in fact, but we knew that if we stayed in our comfort zone, we'd stay exactly where we were, and ultimately we weren't happy there. And we knew that we were always destined for more. So we got home, I sold my house, my car, and every single possession that I owned. And Liv gave her notice to a physiotherapist job, a job she had spent 4 years working towards. And may I add, we had 3 months to make it work before we booked a one-way flight. And in that time, we took Liv from having 0 experience in coaching to enrolling 30 clients in 90 days and earning more money than she had in her full-time NHS career. Taking that risk completely changed the course of our life forever. And I'll be real, what we did took a level of nerve. Because don't get me wrong, we had our fair share of doubts along the way, as we had so much to lose. The move alone cleared our savings entirely. But what I find wild is that people who are just starting out, they say things like, I have nothing going for me. I have no money. I've got no network of people, no resources. But to me, this is a positive. It's learning to reframe it, and it's to understand you have absolutely nothing to lose. So what are you waiting for? As in reality, you have the most perfect condition to take a risk, as the worst case scenario is you just end up back at baseline, which is where you're currently at anyway. So what are you even waiting for? So I guess what's the key lesson here? It's that comfort zones kill dreams. The biggest opportunities in your life always hiding behind what scare you the most. Just take the leap. The obstacle is always going to be the way. So next up, mindset shift number 2. You don't make money by chasing it. You make money by solving bigger problems. This is one of the biggest shifts I had to make when I started coaching. It was the shift towards focusing on creating impact and not solely income. As at first, I was far too focused on just making money alone. I was focused on sales, client numbers, and constantly seeing my Stripe revenue go up. But the reality is, you don't make money by chasing it. You make it by continuously solving bigger problems over time. And as I came to learn, money is simply a reflection of service, of value. So the more I could help people, the more value I could offer through my services, the more knowledge I could share in the process along the way, the greater impact I could have on someone's life, the more money I was going to make as a byproduct. And that just seemed obvious to me. So it all of a sudden came about focusing on the inputs and not solely the outputs. So a little bit of story time. When I lost my job as a quantity surveyor in 2020, I was pretty desperate. I went from never being unemployed in my life to having a mortgage, bills, an Audi S3 on finance with zero income and only universal income to live on. It was a massive reality check. So it's fair to say I hit the panic button pretty quick. So by default, I became fixated on making money as fast as reasonably possible. But looking back, it just wasn't the right approach. But fortunately for me, I came to realization pretty quick that I was asking myself the wrong question. Instead of asking, how do I make more money? I started to ask myself, how can I provide more value? The moment I switched that mindset, everything just changed. I stopped chasing quick sales and started focusing on solving problems for my clients. And the bigger the problems, the more money I could make. I became obsessed with helping people, often never even expecting anything in return. I genuinely spend hours voice noting people, staying in the gym late to help people out, and even giving free personal training sessions to any online clients, purely just to get feedback. Granted, looking back, I probably went so extreme to one end of the spectrum that I did undervalue myself at times, but I honestly wouldn't change a thing, as it fast-tracked my reputation, my credibility, my coaching skills, and just give me a ton of transformations and social proof right from the get-go. And once I did all of these things, the money just naturally then followed. So what is the moral of the story here? I guess it's stop chasing income, chase impact instead. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger your business grows. It's that simple. Now let's go on to the third mindset shift that I had. Nothing is truly hard. It's only unfamiliar. The real challenge isn't ever starting. It's sticking with it. Most people overestimate how hard something is before they actually start. They psych themselves out, convincing themselves it's beyond them. But let's be real, what's the truth? Nothing is actually difficult in life. It's just new. Everything in life is simply a skill. It's about skill acquisition, which is based on repetition of learning. But what people really underestimate is how hard it is to be consistent. They're doing it over and over with no expectation of immediate reward, the ability to delay the time horizon of gratification or success. That's where most people fail. I know this firsthand. I was a bodybuilder, not a content creator, not a speaker. I used to restart my phone 20 times just to record a 60-second video. I used to record a voice note 3 times over just to get a client checking across the line, stumbling along my words along the way. It would be so easy to just give up. I could have told myself, I'm not good at this. Maybe I should just stick to personal training, and maybe online coaching is probably not for me. Fast forward 5 years, I talk for hours on end. I've built a 25-hour long course, and I've even launched a podcast where I literally sit and talk to myself for an hour straight. I was never talented, far from it, to be quite honest with you. The only difference was I stuck with it, and that's the real key. So the lesson I want you to learn from this is stop focusing on how hard something seems at first, and instead learn to just welcome it. Shift your mindset to how long are you willing to stay consistent until it becomes second nature. I wasn't a natural at any of this. I just refused to quit, because remember, you can never fail in anything in life providing that you don't quit. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and that's all it takes. And that's all that separates the winners and the losers in life. So let's have a little bit of a recap of the 3 biggest mindset shifts that took me from ground zero to where I am now. Number 1, choose courage over comfort. Your biggest opportunities lie outside your comfort zone. Remember, the most dangerous people in the world are the ones with the least to lose. Number 2, focus on impact over income. Simply focus on solving bigger problems, and the money will follow. Number 3 is remember nothing is hard. Most people overestimate how hard something is, yet they massively underestimate how hard it is to be consistent for long periods of time. That's the hard part. If you don't give up, you can't fail. It really is that simple. Now, I want you to go away and pick the mindset shift that resonated most with you today. Write it down and commit to taking one action this week to implement it. And if you're serious about upgrading your business and your mindset, make sure you subscribe, drop a comment below, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because remember, your mindset shapes your future. So choose every single decision wisely.